Nick, what were your thoughts about that group that you put out to start the fourth quarter? Like, why did you come up with it, and what did you think of how they turned the game around?
Well, we were certainly in a situation where Pascal and Gary ran the entire third. So we had to make two choices. We thought we needed some ball handling um, for Delano, and I think Scotty was the one that had been taken out to replace Pascal. We normally would have done that, with a few minutes to go in the quarter, but we didn't. So that's how we ended up with it. And man, did they have a run. It didn't feel very good the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and I was antsy to maybe bring Gary or some shooting back in, but then they really dominated and they got to run it out almost.
You have to see a Thad made a couple of really smart basketball plays. Like you saw
Yeah.
tonight what he can bring without having a big number.
Well, I think if you kind of look at that stretch, you think about Thad made a couple tough shots. Delano made a play or two. Scotty made a play or two. I think Chris is the one who really, with the putbacks and then that corner three, he probably had the most impactful job. But listen, they just wouldn't leave until they scored, right? They were just, and it was Kem tipping them around. They were all three really tough on the glass, and then I thought Scotty made some timely, just kind of ISO moves right down the lane and used his size.
Got him guarding Jokic there a little bit in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Was that the setup switches, or because you figured somebody could do it?
Yeah. So I mean, we only used about 13 different coverages on Jokic tonight, and that was the last of them. And that was to get Scotty to switch so we wouldn't lose contact with him. There shouldn't be a roll because of the switch, and if the pop, you should be in front of him. And then we were switching again as he rolled down into the post. We were trying to, so we had Kem on the weak side to come over. I'm not sure we got to that. Kem and Thad low to one of them to try to take him. So
one time you got Delano off him.
Yes.
Thad came right from
Yes.
the bench, got Delano off
Yeah.
Jokic.
That's the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, that's the kind of Thad
Yeah.
I was alluding to.
Yes.
He just knows what to do.
Yep.
To get to that point, Scotty and Pascal both working with one another and working apart seemed to be another level playmaking tonight. What did you?
Well, what I thought I saw, Eric, was that they were just kind of back and forth. You bring it, I bring it, just kind of what they felt to run or who had a better matchup or whatever. They were sharing that like really equally. And obviously it was, it was turning out good.
There was certainly no hesitation on Scotty's part down the stretch. I assume those drives, even the one that didn't fall and he got the offensive rebound for, those are what you want to see from him.
Yeah, we did a good job of clearing some space for him. I thought, he once he broke the free throw line, he wasn't beating his man, but he was just maneuvering his way close enough to shoot over the top. Really good decisions. Those aren't easy baskets, but he that's kind of his game, is to shoot, and again, he a little quirky on those. He'll stop at 8 feet, he'll stop at 10 feet, 7 feet, right hand, left hand. He's got a little bit of, and he kind of knows when he misses it because he hits the ground quick and tries to chase him a lot of times. So yeah, pretty good.
Did you decide to start Precious to stretch Jokic up in the basket? He was going to make all those things.
Well, it was a, as the starting lineup was a big gamble, right?
Yeah.
Kem coming off of probably one of his best games in a long time. But I just felt that Precious, I don't know. I just thought the combination of maybe being able to move his feet on the perimeter if he tried to drive him, the combination of holding him, running down the floor, holding him up before he got to the post, and the post defense, which is, it's almost impossible post defending him, so, but we did sneak in there and get a couple strips, at the right time. So we got a couple. I don't know how many turnovers he had, just a couple, but they were, we needed them. 3, huh?
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Was Brooks just to mess with us, or
was what?
Starting Brooks?
No, not at all. Not at all. We've gone that way a bit, and I think it's, and even in the fourth, that's where we were big. right? Just big and not really a shooting guard out there, just a bunch of wing players. And it's been, like tonight, it was great for us in the fourth. It was great a couple games, I can't remember which. Then it was really clunky some games, right? And I just really wanted to give Pascal and Scotty some space. And I thought Precious could space the floor. I thought Armani could, and I thought Gary could. And that was the reason for it.
Eric, I'm gonna go over to the, what you want to do live right now. Go ahead, Justine.
Thanks, JQ. We'll start with Mike Ganter.
Hey, Nick, just want to ask you about the physicality of the game. Scotty in particular, I mean, is that as physical as he's been or had to be all year?
Yeah. I mean, I think 2 nights in a row, we've stood up really physically and played really tough, Mike. And Scotty took a few shots tonight, but he kept picking himself up and going back in there to deliver a few and take a few more.
Yeah,
He got popped a few times in the nose, and he complained a little bit, but he'd go right back out there and stick his nose into it. So yeah, we were physical in general.
it actually looked nasty for quite a bit of the night from, just off the TV. Did it feel that way on the bench?
Wasn't that bad. Last night's was probably more nasty,
Yeah.
to be honest. It was a lot bigger hits delivered last night in the open floor and at the basket and things like that. This was a lot of kind of grinding through the lane stuff tonight.
Got it. All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yep.
And next we'll go to Josh.
Hey, Nick, congrats on the win. You already talked about Precious, but I'll ask you about the center position as a whole. You knew you were going to need a big night from those guys against Jokic. What did you make of the production you were able to get from that position from both Precious and Kem?
Well, I mean, geez, we got, first of all, offensively, we got 15 from Precious, right? Another 9 from Thad. Kem has 8, and I don't know how many assists he ends up with. 0, but he made about 8 really great passes that led to things, and he crashed the glass. So 6 offensive rebounds. So that's a lot of production out of those 3 guys. Can't ask for much more than that, I don't think.
In terms of the degree of difficulty over the last 24, 26 hours, it doesn't get much tougher in terms of the competition. No OG, no Fred tonight, altitude, all of that. Given the circumstances, how proud are you of your guys?
Well, and throw in on top of that we, dropped down by 8, right? And it looked like we were, had thrown our best punches, and we stuck right in there and answered back to them on the road again, similar to last night. Showed a lot of character. So I like that. We showed a lot of toughness in these last 2 nights, and that takes you a long ways. Playing hard and playing tough takes you a long ways.
Thanks, Nick. Safe travels.
Thank you.
And next we'll go to Aaron Rose.
Hey, Nick, you mentioned earlier, I think you called Precious a floor spacer. That was one of the reasons you had him out there. How far has that 3-point shot come that you even look at him that way, that I think he had a career high tonight with 4 threes? Yeah,
so whatever's gotten into him since the All-Star break, he's certainly been more decisive out there, right? He's running out there and he's catching and shooting fairly quickly, which means he's feeling confident. And I'm good with it. What I want him to do is make a decision really quickly. Shoot it, drive it, or pass it. When he pump fakes, hesitates, dribbles it in the same spot, starts spinning around, now we don't know what's going to happen. He's got some, levels up to go still, but he is confidently shooting it, and he's making enough of a percentage to stay out there and space the floor.
Is that a lot of long nights in Nick Nurse's shooting night school?
I don't know about that, but I'm sure he's practiced quite a bit, and he's got his reps in, and he's worked on it for sure.
Thanks, Nick. Safe travels.
2 more here for you, Coach. We'll start with Vivek.
Hey, Nick, you touched on this a little bit when talking about the team being stuck 8, but that possession where you guys seem to have everything under control, did everything right, and Bones Highland makes that 3, and you guys don't hang your head, and it could have. What's it say about you guys being able to embrace the process and not necessarily the result of that shot?
Really good point. I think that if you play a possession that hard and force them into that shot and it bounces in, you got to just roll with the bounces of the ball. But you make a really good point. We got the ball out and we raced it up the floor and we went right back at them and didn't let any, emotional or spiritual drain take us out from there. Because you're right, that was a like a stabilizing, could have been a really stabilizing bucket for them. And we just kept coming and coming.
Thank you, Nick. Have a safe flight.
Thank you.
Last one here for you, Coach. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey Nick, just about your coaching summit tomorrow that you're hosting. Why is it important for you to be involved in you and I guess your staff to be involved in an event like that?
Well, first of all, it's part of the vision of coaching the Raptors and coaching the national team and have so many of my staff doing both of those as well is to continue. I mean, geez, we got so many players and so much talent rolling through at all ages in Canada that we've got to, do our part to spread the teaching of the game, pass along any tips or knowledge or paths that we can show those people that are interested in helping our young Canadian players. It's mostly Canadian. I think it's actually going worldwide this year because of the Zoom. But we usually get, I don't want to overstate it, 300 to 500 coaches, I think, at this thing. So that's a heck of a lot of people interested in basketball and interested in trying to get better. So we're happy to help out with that.